Hello, everybody. I think we are officially live. Just want to check, as always, if you could pop something on the side just to let me know if this is working and that you can hear me okay. I've gone outside again because it's not raining, so why not? I've got my plants, and I thought about officially naming these live sessions The Jungle because I'm trying to make a jungle here anyway. So, how is everybody doing? There you go, skadoosh. Thank you for letting me know that it's working. That's very good. I hope everybody's doing good, staying well, staying safe during these times. Obviously, I feel a bit claustrophobic in my jungle today, actually. So the way we're going to do this today, this is our second YouTube live. So we did one last week, and that was a great success. I realized I haven't really advertised this one very much because most of you guys have probably seen across my socials that I've been very busy trying to spread the word about the Great Garden Campout. So we'll talk about that in a minute. There's a few things I just want to touch on before we really get started. But essentially, today I just want to be a lot more about you guys. So when you've got questions, please just pop them in the comments and hopefully I can answer them. So I'm just going to do my initial spiel to say welcome. It's really good that you're here. It's good that we're hanging out. Just going to chat for 45 minutes, an hour or so. A little bit of a structure, as I say, is there's some things I want to say and then I'll just answer some questions. But essentially, we're just hanging out for a little bit, which would be really good. So I have a brew. I hope you guys do too. And I also have sat on my lap. He's like, don't wake me up. A little Bobby. Say hi. Hi. Yeah, so he's hanging out with us today, but he's a bit sleepy right now. So he's probably just going to stay on my lap. They haven't had their walk yet. So should we go walkies later? Should we go walkies after this? Yeah. He's like, let's go. So yeah, Bobby's just hanging out on my lap. So he might make some random appearances. So before we get started, I just want to, as always, give a massive shout out to all of the Patreons for Spend More Time in the Wild. So we've got this flourishing Patreon community going on now. Essentially, just a whole bunch of amazing people. Anyone can join this community, and we do monthly live sessions. So this YouTube live session is just going to go on for the duration of however long everything goes on with the whole virus situation. Hey Patrick. And then Patreon, we do live sessions, we do giveaways, we've got a book club, there's all sorts of different things going on. There's the private Patreon Facebook group, which is a really positive, supportive, safe space for everybody. So if you feel like you'd like to join Patreon, just scroll right back up to the top of this feed. Like, I would encourage you to do that now before this gets crazy, and I've shared some different links. There's loads of ways you can Spend More Time in the Wild, but I just want to say, even just by being here, you're supporting it, just by showing up. That's what matters to me. But if you'd like to get involved in some of the different things that are going on, certainly online, then have a look at some of the links that I shared just at the top of the page there. And don't spill the tea. And I will share some more a little bit later on. So the other thing I wanted to talk about just before I get started is towards the end, we're going to do a loving kindness meditation. I think that'll be really good. Last week, I just sort of on the spot was like, oh, let's do some breath work. And then I was like, what breath work are we going to do? But this week, I want to do a specific loving kindness meditation. So it's about 5 to 10 minutes. We'll see how we go. But essentially, that should hopefully leave us feeling sort of peaceful within ourselves, generating some peace into a certain individual in our lives and into the community as well, which I think would be really nice. Something that we can all do. Can I just check that you guys can see me? Because I keep minimizing the page. I've just got a couple of notes. So it's minimized now and then it's not. Maybe they're not even seeing that, but I just want to check it doesn't blanket. Okay, so something else I just wanted to talk about is, as I say, you might have already seen it on my social media channels, is the Great Garden Campout. Thanks for confirming, guys. I appreciate that. So the Great Garden Campout, it's a bit of a mouthful, the GGCO. It's really exciting. So essentially what it is this Saturday, so Saturday the 4th of April, we're doing a big camp out. So obviously with the whole social isolation thing, we're having to do that within our homes. It can't be the whole community thing. But as I mentioned last week, 2020 is all about community and connection. So I just thought the Great Garden Campout would Bobby is leaving me. It's just a good idea. So essentially all it is on the evening or the night of April the 4th, it's just to camp out in your garden. Head to my website and you'll be able to see the Great Garden Campout page, and you can find out more. There's a little video, and we'd love it if you could share pictures and maybe have a campfire. Maybe even if you've got kids, set yourself a challenge of producing like a mini expedition film. So, you know, you're getting all your kit ready and you're going out into the into the wilds to camp out in the garden. So it'd be just have a bit of fun with it, sort of get a bit of a global community going. And if you are on Facebook, we've got the Great Garden Camp Out Facebook group as well. So please feel free to join that. Now, one last thing I wanted to talk about before we really just basically go crazy with the questions. I mean, you can go crazy with the questions now if you want to. Is in terms of I've sort of been bringing out some conversations with old connections that I've had with different outdoor companies, and someone I've reconnected, or an organization I've reconnected with recently, is an organization, you might recognize them. It's called Water to Go. So if you followed any of my films in 2016 when I did the National Trails Challenge, I did have various companies sort of just cheering me on, and Water to Go was one of them. But I really, 2020 again, connection and community, and service as well. I really want to sort of spend more time in the wild, bring it back, as I mentioned, to sort of my key values, which are, and spend more time in the wild, or stay wild as a term, is to, we live not just for ourselves, but also for others. And I'm exploring ways that we can all get involved in giving back, and sort of holding space for the community and for the planet. So like one of my daily affirmation things as I do is, may I be kind to my body and my mind, to the planet and to those around me. And that's basically what I want to bring in, to spend more time in the wild as much as possible. So I've reconnected with Water to Go, yay, which is very exciting. So if you're not familiar with this company, I recommend heading to their website. If you just Google Water to Go, you'll be able to find it. And essentially what it is they're really good for backpackers like us, especially where we're in slightly more populated places. Say you might be doing the Camino or something. So essentially they're bottles, and it's got a built-in filter. Obviously all ethically produced. They do a lot of charity work supporting the Wildlife Foundation over in Africa, and helping supply clean water for loads of different sort of charities and settlements all across the globe. So I'm really super pumped to be working with them again. And essentially the only reason why I'm telling you that is, yes, I'm pumped by it, but if you are interested in having a look at their stuff, you can head to their website, and then you can get a discount. So you can get 15% off anything you order with them. So they've got bigger bottles and then smaller ones like these. So the discount code is STB15. So all in capitals. I'll just write that down now on the side so you can see that. STB15. Skadoosh. So Water to Go, have a look at that. You can get 15% off any order that you might want. So if anybody has any questions, please feel free to pop it in on the side. We'll just have a chat about some random stuff. Meanwhile, whilst I'm just sort of waiting for some questions, I'll just sort of fill you in on anything else that's going on in my life, which, to be fair, is like, I'm just trying to use this time to plan things. As with everybody, a lot of the trips this year have all been cancelled, but I'm just trying to make sure everything is planned so we're ready to go as soon as things calm down a little bit, basically. Oh, that's cool. So just getting some people saying about affirmations, which is quite nice. Hello, Logan and Dave. It's good to see you guys. Although I can't see you, unfortunately, but you can see me. It's kind of weird to think that this is like live. Never mind. Bobby's going to make his second appearance. There you go. Okay, so just got one question, which is like a funny question. Am I the only YouTuber in the world who doesn't wear Fjällräven? Fjällräven's too big for me. I love Fjällräven kit. It's heavy, but it's obviously good kit. But yeah, it's all way too big for me. Even like the size small stuff is like hangs off me. I mean, I do like baggy stuff, obviously, but okay, so we've got Dartmoor or Exmoor. What's your preference and why? Now that's a question. If I had to pick one, I'd probably pick. What would I pick? Probably Exmoor. I really like the coast up on Exmoor. I've got good times there. There's lots of nice rivers. I've done some nice wild camping up on Exmoor. Had some good fires. I really like the campsite Coombe Farm down near Malmesmead. That's a good place to hang out. So yeah, probably Exmoor, but Dartmoor appeals as well because it's just a big wild open space. Although I don't know if any of you guys saw the video that I put up last week, or was it this week? This week, I don't know what day it is anymore. Then yeah, you can see that Dartmoor can be pretty wet. So definitely check out that video if you're interested. Have you walked the Norfolk Coastal Path yet? I have not walked the Norfolk Coastal Path yet. That's something I'd really like to do. Pembrokeshire Coastal Path is probably top of my list. Last week we talked about the Southwest Coastal Path as well. 630 miles. So yeah, I've walked a big chunk of that, and I have considered sort of going and doing the whole thing in one go, but I think just so much of it would be repeat. So yeah, Norfolk Coaster Path. Is that the one where you do the Pedder's Way in Norfolk Coaster Path? Because yes, I really have considered that, and I was looking at it this year, but it was quite flat. And I'm kind of needing hills. And actually, one of the next questions is coming up. How are you managing to keep up your physical stamina, considering you won't be doing much activity at all? I guess you're talking to now, or referring to now. Yeah, I'm moving quite a lot each day. I'm not. I mean, sort of going out once still. But I'm hopping on the bike. I've actually got a little gym down at my dad's garage, so I train there every day anyway. It's just part of my morning routine. So I'm kind of just training essentially the same, obviously just not as much walking or carrying heavy stuff, but I'm really trying to be conscious of moving my body every day because I enjoy it. So that's that. What have we got? Do you ever burn incense in your tent, Abby? No, I do not burn incense in my tent. That would be, my tents are too small for that. I'll tell you a bit of a story though. I was on the Rob Roy Way, and that video is due to come out very soon. I'm sort of just finishing it up now, and yeah, so I was wild camping in this sort of field by Loch Tay. Is it Loch Tay? I think it's Loch Tay, and it was so slopey, and the grass was like quad high, like above the knee, and yeah, like I was just like I pitched out. I was absolutely knackered, just wasn't feeling my best ever, and so I light my stove, and the tent door was open, thankfully. But yeah, I like the stove, and it's like I'm just sort of fiddling, and I balanced it like on my flip flop and just on the grass to try and get some levelness. And then the stove falls over, and the grass like catches on fire, and like that was a little bit scary. But yeah, just always be careful with flames around the tent. What's the weirdest object you've ever found / come across on the trail? And that's Laura. Oh, I missed Patrick above that. I'll come back to you, Patrick. Weirdest thing I've ever found on the trail. Now, there's a question. I find lots of like fossils. I remember I found a really cool fossil just randomly on top of the North York Moors. That's on the Cleveland Way, so you'll be able to see that when that comes out. I don't know what the weirdest thing I've ever found is. I've seen some weird things. People have some strange things in their gardens. I don't know. I'll think about that and I'll get back to you. Patrick asked, what's the status of campfires in the UK? I don't know. I think campfires is like wild camping. But to be fair, I'm not the biggest fan of campfires because I think a lot of people don't realize how damaging they can be to the topsoil and to the landscape as a whole, especially if you're on a peaty landscape or if you're destroying shrubbery to build the fire. But yeah, I think if you're discreet, you could have a little fire, but I don't tend to use fires because normally, to be honest with you, by the time I get to camp, I'm just way too knackered. So that's the honest truth with that. Just make sure I'm not missing anything. You can do the Pedder's Way, but I don't think it's on the coaster path. Okay, that's helpful. Thank you. Scrolling. Would you ever do the entire Via Francigena? Oh, yes, please. That would be fun. But to be fair, above that is the GR20 for me. Really would like to hit the GR20. So has anybody done the GR20? Please let me know if you've done the GR20. I'd love to find out how you got on with it. Come and do the Viking Way. Yep, I'd like to do that as well. Haven't done any walking in Northumberland. Path. It's not Northumberland. I'm having my brain is not quite on it today. I apologize about that. Have you bumped into anyone weird? Anyone weird? The weirdest person I see on the path is myself. Have I bumped into anyone weird? No, not really. To be fair, my life on the trail is relatively unexciting. Not a lot happens. I just walk each day, and usually I just avoid seeing people as much as possible. Have you had any creepy / scary experiences? Maybe that's what the question above meant. Nothing jumps to mind. I've had a couple of occasions where I've been pretty obsessed that I'm being followed. I find going into cities quite difficult. So like, a trail might start or end, say like, I don't know, just even somewhere humble like Carlisle, and I like Carlisle. I just find it very overwhelming. The same as like a makeshift studio thing to block out the sun. So I'm sorry if it gets a bit bright. Okay, scrolling. I need to put up with the questions. Your Hadrian's Wall video has gotten me excited for when you're coming over. Hadrian's Wall is a good trail. Have you ever been scared of heights or exposure? I'm not scared of heights. In fact, I actually quite enjoy being high up and looking down. But there have been a couple of occasions where I felt quite exposed. Trying to think of what occasions. Not usually actually when you think that people would like, I don't know, like Striding Edge and the CMD Ridge on Ben Nevis. Like none of them made me feel exposure. I wasn't struggling with exposure at all. So not really, but I think, yeah, just a couple. Cliffs. I'm not the best with cliffs. I find them quite intimidating sometimes, just looking down, because I usually want to look down. So sometimes I get a little bit like, that's quite exposed, but not particularly. Pretty mellow about that, really. Have I ever bumped into anyone famous on the trail? No. I would quite like to bump into someone like Julia Bradbury or Ben Fogle or someone and be like, what's up? Just there with my little YouTube video thing. Like that'd be quite fun. Or like Steve Backshaw and just like go on a little adventure. Probably big adventure because it's Steve Backshaw. So yeah, that'd be fun. 50% of GR20 is hard and hot. I'm anticipating that. Okay. This is really hard for me to scroll this. I apologize that this is a bit bitty today. I'm trying to really keep my focus on the feed. Last time it got a bit overwhelming, so just bear with me. Keep asking questions. I'm just going to slowly work through them as we go. Have you done the Baker Way? No, I have not. The man doing the Mooney? Yeah, that was on the TMB, right up on one of the coals after a jolly hard climb. In theory, let's see lockdown tomorrow. Okay, in theory, if they said lockdown was over tomorrow, where would you head immediately? In theory, I would head to the Lake District. I literally count down the days. Well, I say literally, not literally. I don't know how many days it is, but I watch the clock. I check my calendar. Like, I'd like to go to the Lake District every single year. It's like my time for me. And yeah, I shoot films, but my birthday's sort of mid-June, and I usually try and go sort of beginning of June time. The only reason why I would hesitate going to the Lake District as soon as the restrictions were lifted is because I feel like so many other people would do that. And what I enjoy about when I go to the Lake District is there's not a whole load of people there. It's just space and beauty. But yeah, Lake District theoretically. But if I was going to jump on a trail, now there's a question. Given the fact that the Youth Hostel Association is saying that everything is shut until August, which is rather inconvenient, I would probably try and do something that I could be self-sufficient on. But if everything was back to normal, I don't know. Maybe even the GR20, just fly out there and do that. But if I was in the UK, the North Downs Way we mentioned last week, that's sort of up there to get shot. Maybe Thames Path. I'm sort of really starting to go back to the traditional national trails. I just think I'd actually really like to do all of them. I think that would be really fun, sort of create a resource for people to look at. So hopefully that answers that question. Next question is from Carl. What's the best advice you've ever been given? Oh, flip. That's deep, man. Going deep, bro. Best advice you've ever been given. Stay hydrated. I'm just going to go with that. Like, I don't know what the best advice I've ever been given is. Probably to love yourself or something. I want to go like proper like philosophical, but I'm not going to right now because I'll just go off on a tangent. But something about respecting yourself so you can respect others, and live life right now. I think let's go with that. When wild camping, have you ever felt unsafe? To be fair, I still struggle a little bit with wild camping actually. Just because if my head goes funny, like I don't have necessarily like anything around me. But I think I've never felt unsafe with regards to the environments. I've never felt unsafe with regards to the animals there. I have had a couple of sort of funny experiences, not like funny as in not laughable. When I was up on the coast to coast, camping near Blakely Ridge, I think it was, and the mist came down and my head was not in a good space and sort of just seeing things. And that was a little bit intimidating, being stuck on the moors in the dark. But yeah, that's the only time really, to be fair. Oh man. And on the Two Moors Way, if you've seen that video where I wild camp on Dartmoor, and it was the day that all the flying ants had hatched out, and that was just horrible. That wasn't scary or unsafe, but just like I put my tent up and I was like, oh, at least I can get in my tent. But then the fabric like attracted millions and millions of these flying ants, and they were all like accumulating around the tent. And I was like, oh man. So I literally had to sit there for like 2 hours, 3 hours, I think it was actually. I remember ringing my friend, like, yeah, I'm sat outside my tent and it's covered in flying ants. I can't get in it. So I had to wait for it to get cold. And then eventually they flew away. And then I went into my tent, and then in the morning, my everything was covered in non-flying ants. So they'd like hatched out of the earth and covered everything. And that was like not the most fun experience I've ever gone through. So yeah. Okay. Sorry, I'm losing questions. Okay, scrolling. Have you ever done the Cotswold Nape? No, I'd like to do that, but it seems quite difficult to camp it. Has anybody done the Cotswold Way and camped it? I think a lot of people B&B it. So maybe I'll either B&B it or just try and discreetly wild camp. Favorite wildflower? Oh, I love flowers. Flowers are the best thing for me right now. It was last year that I really bloomed. Or my love of wildflowers really became a thing. So I really started learning perhaps what most people would even know, but things like celandines and primroses and dog violets and sweet violets and the different blossoms. But for me, like some of my favorite wildflowers are like moorland and alpine flowers. So the TMB, you can imagine, was like so slow because I was just like crawling along like, oh my gosh, look at these flowers. They're all so amazing. All the colors, love the flowers. So yeah, but my absolute all-time favorite flower, and I've even thought about like getting a tattoo or something of it because I love them so much. It's just like, can't remember what they're called now, like bellflowers, essentially hair bells. Have I got? Oh no, I haven't. I thought the screensaver on my phone was a harebell. But I remember on the West Highland Way and the Great Glen Way specifically, just like every time I saw them, I would just like weep. Like I just like, even now, just thinking about harebells, like just they're so fragile, and the delicate purple color, and just that they bloom in such harsh environments for just like a month or two each year. Like, whew, I love them. They're amazing. Harebells. There you go. Who can get that excited about harebells? What's your favorite mountain summit / viewpoint? Mine is of the summit of Helvellyn on a clear day. Yeah, that's a good summit to be on. I don't know. I might stick with the Lake District. I really enjoy looking down from Skiddaw, down over Derwent. That's quite a nice view on a good clear day. And you can see right up to Scotland on a good clear day as well, which is quite fun. And of course, it's not a hard mountain to climb at all. What else do I do? I don't really know, to be fair. I think every viewpoint has something to offer. Every angle that you turn and face, there's different things to see. So that's really nice. So I don't have a specific viewpoint favorite, I'm afraid. I apologize about that. No, what was it? Fleetwood Pike? Is that what it's called? Maybe that's what it is. So you got Great Gable, Haystacks, and then you go round. I'm sure it's Fleetwood Pike. Standing on top of that was quite cool, looking down over Buttermere and Crummock Water. That was cool because I'd never been up there until last year, so I enjoyed that. Favorite camping food? I guess if we're going dehydrated, I do like couscous. Couscous is good for me. And I do like sort of date and cashew bars, trying like raw food bars, so I tend to eat them quite a lot. Oat cakes, gotta get an oat cake in. Have you ever thought of climbing Crib Gough? I've very much thought about it. In fact, I meant to do it last month, but that didn't happen for various reasons, and now it's not going to happen right now. But yes, that's on the list. We'll get a video very soon. You look very Crocodile Dundee. Yeah, too right, mate. Got to get the foliage in. I'm in the jungle. Have you ever considered doing any trails in the US? Yes, I get asked this question a lot. There's a lot of trails I'd like to do in the US, but I don't know, I'm trying to just work through the UK, keep building my nav skills, get comfortable with everything, get my kit lighter, and then maybe I'd start to look at the US. We talked last week about the PCT and the AT and the Continental Divide Trail. They're very much on the list. The list is long, man. This is going to be my life. Okay. Would I like to bump into you whilst walking on the Contox? Yeah, I bumped into a few people on the Contox. It's quite fun, actually. Would you ever do the PCT? There you go. I answered that question. Have you used the green cone tent? No, I have not. Are there any outdoor activities that you haven't tried but would like to? That's a question. So last week I alluded to the fact that I'm not a fan of sand. and sand tends to infer beaches. And I'd like to get comfortable being in the ocean. I'd love to surf. Like I'd like to be having like a bad head day. I imagine this scenario. Like head's not good, so I'm gonna get my board. I'm gonna go down to the beach and I'm gonna go surfing. That's so not me. I'm smiling because it's like nope. That's so unimaginable. But yeah, I'd like to do that. I'd like to surf. I'd like to do more climbing, like proper outdoor climbing stuff. I've done a lot of indoor climbing and bouldering, but yeah, I'd like to do outdoor climbing. I'd love to do some more mountaineering, like proper ice axe, crampon, rope work. What else would I like to do? There's lots of things. If it's outside, then I'm all over it, even if I'm scared. Just a little bit. What about winter wild camping? Does that appeal to you? Yes, it does. The thing is here is the lack of light. So, you know, I could go hiking in winter easy, like no problem, but you're going to be stuck in the tent for like at least 12 hours. And I don't tend to carry a book. And like, yeah, I'm tired, but like, I don't think I could sleep for 12 hours. So that's the only thing that sort of puts me off doing wild camping in winter really is the amount of light. Okay. Besides bilberries, bilberries, man, who's pumped about bilberry season coming around? What other eats do you recognize and taste on the trails? Do you study herbs? Not really herbs. I mean, like plantain and stuff I might pick up if I get a bite and like rub that on the bite. What else? Yeah, I'm definitely doing the wildflowers first, and trees. I'm pretty hot on trees. And birds. I like birds. But yeah, wild edibles is something I'm very much still working on. I'd sort of do it more here. So here being home based, when I'm here, you know, pick all the apples, do all the blackberries, do what else do we get? Like raspberries, wild raspberries. I know where to find them. Damsons, hawthorn berries. You can make like this cool hawthorn jerky stuff. What else do I pick? Hazelnuts. I do them as well. Dandelions, making like dandelion tea. There's different things that I'll try. It sort of just depends on the mood and the season. So that's that. Where do you get your hat? This hat is old. I don't remember where this hat came from, but I'm sure you can find your very own hat just for you. Do I eat yellow snow? Oh, don't eat yellow snow. I don't eat yellow snow. Do you wear your Montane Terra pants all year round? If so, in bad weather, how do you find them under waterproof trousers? I don't ever wear thermals. I mean, you've got really big muscles in your legs, biggest muscles in your body, you know, your glutes and your quads. They generate a lot of heat. If you're moving at pace, especially if you've got a heavy pack on as well, you can generate a lot of heat there. And I walk warm. So thermals are very, very rare. Even when I did Ben Nevis in the snow, I didn't wear thermals. The last time I wore thermals was 2017. And that was when we were doing tobacco in the Atlas Mountains, so Morocco. But that I only had like 2 layers, so then I had soft shell trousers over that. So they work fine for me with waterproof trousers. I use the Berghaus Pack Light, so a little bit pricey but super light. Really good trousers. I love them, so they work really good. What was your highlight of the coast to coast? Oh, the coast to coast. Can't talk about the coast to coast. It's too close to my heart. Trouble is with these times is I'm just like reminiscing so much because normally I'd be on the trail by now. But that's okay. It's fine. It's fine to reminisce. Highlight the coast to coast. I really enjoyed it when I reached Angle Tarn. So I just climbed up out of P. It begins with P. Bobby, what's it called? Oh, one of the valleys. No, I can't remember. I just climbed up to Angle Tarn and it was so beautiful with the light. That was a real highlight for me. Just the whole Lake District stretch, the whole flipping coast to coast, man. Like I can't. It's really funny because I make these videos and sometimes I'm like, oh, maybe I'll actually go back and watch a video because they're so intense. The whole editing process, like putting together all the footage, going through it day after day after day after day, like months of going through the hours and hours of footage, and I never want to see it again, basically. But then, like now, like nearly 2 years later since I've done the coast to coast, like or the West Island Way or the Great Glen Way, I'm like, oh, maybe I'll go back and watch the videos. But like, I just can't. Like even now, I feel like emotional about it because they're just so special. And the films, like, yes, they capture some of the experience, but I think we all know, like photos, there can be so much emotion behind a photo, and it's the same with the videos. So Coast to Coast was amazing. I can tell you one of the absolute dislikes for me was walking along Hallswater Reservoir, because that was so hot and like the world was like spinning in circles, and I was like, man, I'm not happy being here, but got for it, so it's fine. When you get a channel back up and running, could we have you as our guest? Yes. What's your channel about? I'd be interested in talking about that. Always glad to spread the love. Would you recommend the Gritstone way for visually impaired? Yeah, I would actually. There's lots of things to see. What am I saying? Lots of it's a well. I can't talk anymore. I talk too much. It's a well. Just do sign language. It's a good path, good quality path the whole way. I would recommend the Gritstone Trail. Yes, I would. If you could do the, hang on, break. Tea. Drink tea. Tea is good. This has basically been like the days that I've been here, like just like trying to like read. Like, nope, just I want to be on the trail, man. Okay, let's find some questions. Is it weird that you love gorse? No, gorse is amazing. Grass mown outside, ready to set up for Saturday's camp. Boom, that's what we like. Do you not carry a book because of the weight or because you don't read when outdoors? No, because of the weight. I love reading. And I would like to carry a book, but if I carry a book, then it's just like I'd have a whole library. What bushcraft skills would you like to learn? There's a question. I'd like to work more on my. Do you know what? I'd love to start a like bushcraft section of Spend More Time in the Wild, but I need some woodland. So this is a genuine shout out. If anybody owns any woodland anywhere in the UK, ideally sort of south, then let me know. Because like I'd love to do some like looking at wild cooking, looking at how do you start fires, how do you make different tarp setups and shelters and things like that. That'd be really, really fun. So definitely shout out if you've got any woodland or like outdoor space we can look at using. But what skills would I like to learn? What would I like to learn? I think I'd like to actually actively practice like water filtration. So how do you catch the rain? Or how do you in a really hot time? Like I know that you can like dig a hole and put a stone over like a plastic sheet and it like accumulates the water. There you go, that's my bushcraft knowledge. There's different things, like quite technical stuff that I'd like to do. I'd love to spend a night actually in a snow hole, if that counts as bushcraft. That'd be really fun. Or make an igloo. So yeah, those are things that I'd be quite keen to try out. Although I don't think I'm going to be doing an igloo anytime soon. Okay, scrolling down. Do you ever take a comfort/luxury item with you? Oh, hang on. We don't see. Do I admit to that? that was a nervous laugh. Tea. Tea saves the day. It's like saved by the tea. Do I ever take a luxury item? Not really. You guys might have seen in a couple of videos, I always carry my little fluffy dog thing. Not this one. This one. No, not this one. Yeah, just like a little soft toy thing, because it's tradition. He's called Apricot and he comes with me on all the trips. Not, as I say, not Bobby right now. Bobby, you go walkies in a bit. You go walkies soon. Yeah. He's liking having us all at home. Have you ever considered alternative? Yes, we talked about that. Yep, I'd love to do some different stuff. Okay, just gonna. I'm losing track, man. I'm losing track. Sorry, boy. Could you say hi to Wendy? She loves your vlogs. Hi, Wendy. Thanks for loving everything. We love you too. We being me and Bob. Okay, do you think it would be a good idea to suggest families right now put up a tent indoors and pretend to camp? Flip, yes. Come on, let's do it. Why not? What else are we doing? We're just like watching the clock, waiting for all this to pass. Definitely, tent up. Come on. If you haven't got a garden, great garden camp out. Another shout out for this. Join us on Saturday, whether you've got a garden or not. Pitch up a tent, inside or out. If you haven't got a tent, then inside, get a whole load of blankets and towels and build a fort. You know, on this very occasion, I wish I didn't have a garden because I would like to sleep in a fort. That would be very fun. I'm a big fan of fort building. So yes, no excuses. Get in your fort, get in your tent. Let's do it. Let's have a bit of fun. Do you have bats where you live? Yes, I do. Not right now, in the nighttime. And actually, I don't know what species they are. I want to say horseshoe, but don't quote me on that. Maybe that's because it's like one of the few that I know. Any more Scottish adventures in the pipeline? Yes, there was supposed to be one in April, possibly now in October. I would like to do some bike touring or bike packing up in Scotland as well, so keep an eye out for that. Obviously, like everybody, just watching to see what happens. But as soon as I can go, I will go. Is it okay to do hammock camping? Of course it is. Hammock camping all the way. I wish I had a hammock. That'd be fun. I could hammock camp in my fort, in my tent. Might just do that. I need a bigger tent. Abbie. Oh, cool. Bushcraft tools. Okay, Anthony, we will talk later. Please drop me a message on my Facebook page. I'd really, really appreciate that. That's helpful. Questions. Okay, what are we on? 35 minutes. We're doing good, people. How do you decide to wear gaiters versus waterproof pants versus waterproof socks and boots through the bogs? If there's bogs, I usually just resign to getting wet because water gets in everywhere. It doesn't seem to really matter how much waterproof stuff you've got on a real wet day or real wet terrain, you're going to get wet. Waterproof shoes that are sold as waterproof shoes, like again, like if they're just constantly wet, you're going to get wet. Waterproof socks I've never used, but I've actually just got a pair, so I'll be using them. I think they're Bridgedale at some point, so I can report back to you. Wish I'd had them over winter because it's been a very wet and muddy winter. Waterproof trousers, I pretty much always carry. Gaiters, I very, very rarely use. If I use gaiters, they are ankle gaiters. And that's purely usually just to try and stop the water dripping down into my boots, and because they're super light to carry anyway. So hopefully that answers that question. Have you ever in your life bought normal jeans and not wearing a hat when you leave the house? Are you asking basically if I'm wearing? Right, hang on, stay there. Look, I'm wearing jeans. You didn't expect that, did you? So yes, on a case, I have to be careful then because they're full of holes and I really need to stitch up some dodgy places. But yes, I do. I do wear jeans on occasion. I have 2 pairs of jeans. I've had them for about 3 years. They're full of holes, as I've just said. I'm not one for just replacing things because if they work, they work. And basically, once the holes in the knees get too big, they will become shorts, although they might be a bit short for my comfort, but you win some, you lose some. So yeah, there you go. That's fun. But I feel much more comfortable in my normal outdoor gear, if I'm completely honest with you. Okay, scroll in. I'll just go for another, I don't know, 10 minutes, and then we'll move on to our meditation thing and just sort of wrap this up. But this is fun, actually. This is nice. Just a whole load of questions, and it's getting my brain working for the first time in a few days. So I appreciate that. Let's have a look. Car, you guys are from all over the place. Where are you from? Let me know. If everybody says where you're from, that'd be really cool right now. Ever thought of having a premiere? I'll have a look at that. Hang on a minute. I'm getting comments. Like, help. Would you ever make up your own long distance trail? Yeah, that'd be fun. But if I did that, I would be like, where should I go start and finish? I would like to do bike or walk, and obviously with that you can forge your own route anyway, so that'd be quite fun. So I'll flip now. Everyone's commenting, help. That's fine. Tell me where you're from. What advice do you ever give anybody who wants to start up an outdoor channel? I would say be authentic, do stuff that you're passionate about, because it really comes across on the camera. Camera never lies, we all know that. And just have fun. Like, don't get serious, like don't take it too seriously, don't take yourself too seriously. Because if the passion's there, then that'll come across, and that's enough to get people. Like, your niche is you, essentially, because you're kind of a presenter and a producer. So if you're going to start your own channel, like, be you. That's what I would say. That's my advice. Where are you? I'm outside always. Okay, AT, hello from Colorado. Hello. Which do you find more interesting, birds or insects? Birds. Yes, birds. I like birds. Insects are fine. Usually not when they're in my tent. I was telling my friend the other day about the exploding spider. Did anybody see that shot in the Ridgeway video? I was camping and it was pouring with rain. I was at a campsite, and then like I was just lying there on my roll mat on my side, and this like spider crawls out, and it literally was like, I mean, that's not big, is it? But it was that big roughly, and I was like, like I had to get out of the tent, and like I don't do killing things, man. So like there's this spider, and I'm trying to like flick it out of the tent, and like I'm basically It like exploded and like spider juice went all over my face. So that was fun. You don't get that with birds, but no, I love birds. I love birds of prey. I love learning about the migration of birds. For me, the bird songs are the thing. I'm quite hot on my bird songs actually, so it's fun tuning in with them. Can you speak French? Not really. I can just about get by. I did on the TMB, but I'd really like to improve my French. I used to be very, very good at French actually when I was at school, because I had moved around schools a lot, and so I'd always go like just different French teachers, and so they try and bring me up to speed. So yeah, I was pretty hot on French, but you don't use it and you lose it. That's not how that goes, but something like that. On 2-week trail, how many clothes do you take? / how would you clean your clothes on the trail? You might not like to know the answer to that. That is getting cold now. So I wear one pair of clothes and I don't wash them. So that's that really. Like if it rains, they get wet. If it's sunny, they dry out. By the end, they're a little bit crispy. But I do sleep in a different set of clothes, just a t-shirt and like some really baggy pair of trousers, but they're deliberately baggy because then I can roll them up. Although it's a bit embarrassing because on the TMB I lost a lot of weight and they like fell down when I was in a hotel place, and that was a bit awkward, but whatever. Okay, scrolling. Right, last couple of questions. Can you speak French, please? Don't you dare. Okay. Have you ever thought of a long distance paddle? Yes, man. Again, like the Great Glen Way like really appeals, because the Great Glen Way you can walk it, you can cycle it, or you can paddle it. And I like there's a lot of companies that do sort of one-way things. So you could start in Inverness or start at Fort William, pick up a canoe, and then hi Pen. Sorry. Oh, here comes the dog. Hi Pen. Yeah, and then you can like paddle the whole way, which is quite fun. I'm gonna see if I can get Penny in shot. Wait 1 second. Oh no, she wants to play. That's not going to happen. Okay, when she calms down. Penny, we can't play right now. It's very serious. So yeah, I'd love to do some paddle stuff. Again, like I've already mentioned, like I'm a bit scared of water, but canoes seems to be quite a mellow thing for me. Just no one rock the canoe, okay? All right, last couple questions. Yeah, end at Glastonbury Abbey and call it the Abbey Way. That'd be fun. Referring to making my own 2 miles way long distance path walk thing. How about pack rafting? Yeah, that'd be scary. Why is the cowboy hat you're wearing so special to you? So I've answered this question before, but I'll answer it again now. So basically, when I was at school, so I went to lots of different schools, 5, 6 schools, and I struggled a lot with bullying. Can you see Bobby there? Bobby, say hi. Bobby, say hi. Oh. Yeah, I struggled with bullying, and I struggled a lot with my identity, not really knowing who I was, and like trying to fit in. And naturally, I was drawn to the outdoors, and the outdoors sort of, is outdoorsy clothing, and I'd wear that, and people didn't like that. And basically, like I was trying to choose between that and like a different identity, sort of the forced identity that I felt like people wanted me to be. And so this hat came into play. I think I was like 11 or 13 or something. My dad's probably tuning in, so he can let you know how old I was. And the hat was a statement for me that I wanted to choose to be true to me, true to the outdoors, true to my passions. And actually, it was amazing because like that, I remember that decision. Like I remember putting on the hat in the store and being like, yeah, this is good, man. This feels good. And then it was funny because it was like after that things started to align. So then like that's when I started to get into conservation, and I ended up speaking in the European Parliament about palm oil. And then my film won a competition that David Attenborough awarded, and blah, blah, blah. Like it all sort of lined up after I chose to be true to me. So I would always encourage you, like if you're stuck on the edge of sort of being true to you, or sort of living a life that is away from you and your true values, then think very carefully because it can take a lot of courage to get over the fear to choose you, but there's always so much on the other side of fear. Okay, let's have a look. I'm lost again with all the questions. If you took a dog with you on some long distance, oh mate, Dave, good question. I think a lot about dogs. I love dogs. I mean, like life is good, but dogs are better. So my dream is to have a dog that would come with me on my trails. They really help me feel grounded and safe and secure, but also it's companionship. The only thing is, obviously, when you take a dog on the trail, it becomes their walk as opposed to yours. Making sure you've got all the food for them, paying attention to the terrain, making sure their paws are okay, making sure they're hydrated, making sure they've got shelter, making sure they stay dry. Like, it's their walk, it's not your walk. And they probably couldn't do the miles that I do. And of course, having a dog sometimes affects where you can stay, so you'd have to wild camp a lot more. I kind of joke, but like, I love Bobby with all my heart, but as an outdoorsy person, it's kind of awkward to end up with like the one dog in the world that doesn't like the outside. You want to be inside, don't you? Just hanging out. Yeah. He's all right. We get on just fine. But what breed would I take? I love Bernese Mountain Dogs, but they're a bit big. And actually, I think having a lighter shade breed would be more helpful, because then they won't absorb the heat so much, so they're less likely to get heat stroke. So to be fair, I definitely want a rescue. Probably will end up being a mixed breed of some kind. So I don't really know the answer to that question, but I very much believe in being led by, is it intuition? Is that the word? An instinct. And I think I will know when there's the right dog to come on the trail and enter into my life as my other half, essentially. Like, I'm not bothered about humans. I just need dogs. Like, simple. All right, let's have a look. Scrolling now. I could talk about dogs all day. Dog questions, go. I liked your singing in the fast video. Oh, thank you, Carl. That was just a random thing. Okay, let's have a look here. Dogs, yay, golden retriever. Yeah, golden retrievers are so beautiful. I love them. That was really fun. You should have your own TV show for BBC, etc. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I've had opportunities to do broadcasting in the past, but I just don't know if it's my cup of tea, because you lose, like, I'm a creative, and with broadcasts, I would be a presenter, which is fine. Like, but you lose a lot of creative freedom when it comes to being on broadcast productions. There's a lot of reshoots, and for me, like, the trail is still my place for healing, and I'm still very much on a journey, as you can see through the long distance documentaries that I do. They all have a story to tell and a meaning and a message. Like, I would love to do that potentially, like, for TV, but again, it'd have to be an hour. Like, some of my documentaries are like longer than an hour. Sorry, plant. So yeah, you lose a lot of creative freedom there, essentially, is what I'm saying. But I have such big visions for this channel, like, and I would love to get a team involved, because, like, I would like to be doing proper productions. There's a series in my head that, like, I'm so, like, pumped about, but I can't really do that very easily on my own. So yeah, I want to keep producing higher quality, better, more fun and engaging content for this channel. Just keep building it, keep branching out, keep diversifying. So watch this space. If you have any ideas, please always send them in. And actually, with regards to ideas right now, whilst we're in this sort of limbo time of, like, life's on pause, even though it's not, because we can use it productively, like, please let me know and get in touch if there's anything you'd like to see me do, or like or doing, putting out into the world. Like, is it more social media content? Is it more videos? Is it more, like, I know a few of you guys have mentioned podcasts, and I'm pretty pumped by the idea of podcasts, but it's a big deal. I think I need somebody to really, like, a second team member to do podcasts properly, because, like, I've already got the ideas in my head for podcasts. But, like, if there's anything you think would be helpful for you guys as the tribe as a whole, like, please let me know, because, it's a safe space. I'm all about putting good stuff out into the world, again, being authentic, and yeah, I'd appreciate any ideas anybody's got, so please do let me know. Have you ever thought about your own outdoor community, outdoor content creators? I'm not quite sure what that means, but one of the ideas, so I've already mentioned Patreon at the beginning. So if you have a look at the Patreon page, so if you just Google Patreon, so Patreon, I'm awful at spelling out loud, or type in Spend More Time in the Wild Patreon, it'll come up. So my goal is, when we reach 100 Patreons, there's a whole new series that I'd like to start, and I don't know whether I'll call it the campfire or whatever I call it yet. It's a working title, but essentially, like, I'd love to be actually going around interviewing different people, like outdoor YouTubers or outdoorsy people doing amazing things, inspiring women, like leaders and innovators and creators, mental health advocates, like actually going and meeting with them, sitting around the campfire, having a conversation about what matters to them, what they're putting out into the world, and basically producing videos with all these amazing people, so we can really just again bring into this space like so much love and inspiration. So that's something I'm really pumped about. So the more people we can get involved with Patreon, the closer I can get to some of these ideas that I've got. So just please, if you feel like you can support us on Patreon, literally for as little as £3 a month, we can't even get coffee right now, so please, like, we just love to have you part of the community. Everybody's like valued as an individual. It's a really fun, creative space, but also like on a practical sense. Every person that joins Patreon, it allows me to get a little bit closer to basically some of the ideas that I've got going on in my head for Spend More Time in the Wild. So yeah, just wanted to let you know. And right now, skadoosh, I've shared that link there for anybody who's interested. Okay, I'm going to go for 2 or 3 more questions. Let's have a look. Cold tea, why not? Isn't Irish hike on the menus? It was supposed to be, actually, but excuse me, again, with the whole virus situation, that was supposed to be in June. We're looking at the Kerry way, so that probably, well, hopefully will happen next year now. So yeah, Penny, careful. Hang on, dog's getting tangled up in the wire. So yeah, Kerry way, definitely keep an eye out for that one. Right, I'm gonna see. Penny, do you want to come and say hi to everybody? Yeah. Problem with this dog. Hey! She's a little bit heavier. You say hi to everybody. Unfortunately, Penny's lost her hearing now, but she likes her cuddles just as much as ever. So yeah. Penny, everybody's on there. Say hi. I love her. She's our little polar bear. Just careful with the wire, dog. Careful. Sorry, it's chaos here. Okay, back to focus. So yes, Ireland. Okay. Oh, hello, Dad. He's commenting. You were 11 when you got the hat. A Christmas present for you. Oh, there you go. I was 11 when I got the hat. So this hat is officially, I'm 23, 12 years old. Blimey. Let's have a look. Any thoughts on getting a drone? I'd like a drone, but they're very heavy. Do you have any stretching routine? Yeah, no stretching before or after. Sometimes I'll stretch after a hike, but rarely before, unless I'm already feeling tight. Best way to contact me is through Facebook, through my Facebook page. Spend More Time in the Wild. Have a look at that. Okay, last couple questions. Landscape photography. Yeah, I'd like to do photography, but have I ever shoplifted? Yeah, but like I'm always focused on making films, so like it takes a lot of work. People are like, "Oh, I'm sure you hike with somebody because how did you film yourself?" It's like, well, I walk and set the camera up, and then I walk back, and then I walk back again. So that's how. Have I ever shoplifted? Not that I can remember. Maybe when I was very little. All right. Oh, it's nice people are saying hi to Penny. That's good. Okay. So I'm going to wrap it up here. So thank you everybody who sent lots of questions in. It's kind of just been fun to. Oh, Anna says hi. Hi, Anna. It's been really nice to just sort of answer questions. It's been a lot more chilled. I think last week it was a little bit crazy. I wasn't expecting all of the questions and stuff to come through, and also I had stuff I wanted to talk about. So this year, what is going on with my brain? This moment has felt a lot more calm, which is really, really nice. So what I would like to do right now, just to wrap this up, is to finish this with a loving kindness meditation, as I mentioned earlier, but also just to ask you for a favor, essentially, or 2 favors. So one we've already talked about. I've got a bit of a scratchy throat, so I'm trying to like mute it before I like cough all over you, because that's not good. Apparently, you can get arrested for doing that here. Yes, so I'd like to just ask any favor. So the first favor is basically, again, if you have any ideas or anything you'd like to see from Spend More Time in the Wild, I can't promise it's going to happen, and especially not imminently. But like, I mean, I have are massive ideas anyway, but it's so wonderful for me to hear from you guys, like what Spend More Time in the Wild means to you, and any ideas that you might possibly have or things that you'd like to see. Please do let me know, and comment, send me a message on Facebook, or just let me know on the side here. This feed goes on for a while after this is turned off anyway. And the second favor is, like, I would just be so honored and grateful if you could take the time to pick one of my videos. Maybe it's the all in there we're all in this together video, which hopefully somebody might be able to share on the side right now. So if you go onto my channel and go onto videos, you'll be able to see all in here together. So it's a video I released a couple of weeks ago, just talking about some ideas about how we can look after our mindset during these times. But any other video, if there's any video you really enjoy, maybe it's a TMB video or Embrace the Journey on the Coast to Coast or Learning to Thrive on the West Highland Way, then please can you just share that with one person just to share that link, and just to help spread the word and the work of what we're doing here at Spend More Time in the Wild, all about inspiring people to get outside for mental and physical health whilst building meaningful connections with the natural world and with each other. So I'd be so honored and grateful if you could just take the time to share one of my videos this week. That would be super, super amazing. Okay, let's have a look. I'm just flicking backwards and forwards, make sure I'm doing everything right. The other thing, of course, is spread the word with the Great Garden Campout. Let's get as many people involved with that as we can. So again, that's Saturday night. Please join the Facebook group, send in your pictures, take some videos. Let's be really interactive about this, have a bit of fun. I'm really trying to keep this cough at bay. It's like I'm slightly dehydrated. Okay, and right, let's do this. I think I need to calm down as well. Love and kindness meditation. So the way this works is essentially, if it feels comfortable for you, you might want to shut your eyes. I'm just going to focus on taking a few deep breaths as we get started, and then I'm just going to walk you through it. So loving kindness meditation is all about helping us sort of look inwards and find a sense of calm and healing and warmth and nourishment, then to spread that out into the world. So I apologize about the traffic going past. I don't know if you can hear that or not. Okay, guys, so let's get started with this. So if you feel comfortable, you might want to close your eyes right now. We're just going to settle in just to last few minutes of just finding a sense of calm and warmth and friendliness towards ourselves. So just taking that time to focus on your breath, just breathing nice and naturally, whatever feels good to you right now. And then when you're ready, you're going to take a nice deep breath in. So really trying to fill the lungs, big deep breath in. And then breathing out. So nice and slowly when you're breathing out, breathing in again. And then breathing out. Good job. And then one more time, nice deep breath, breathing in. And then breathing out. Good. So just going to settle into your natural pace of breath now, keeping the eyes shut, and just focus on where you can feel that breath the most. It might be in and out of your nose, in your chest, maybe in your diaphragm or your stomach, if you can feel your whole body moving. Any points of tension, just take note of those, but don't judge them. And we're just going to take the time now to jump into the first section of loving kindness meditation, and that's to sort of look inwards and focus on ourselves. So you can either say this out loud, so you can either repeat this after me and say it out loud, or you can just say it in your head. So we're just going to start off by sort of focusing in on our heart. You might even want to place your hand on your heart. I'm just going to try and really focus on generating some feelings of warmth and friendliness towards ourselves, love and acceptance, kindness and compassion for all that we are, our bodies and our minds. I'm just going to say out loud or in our heads, may I be happy, may I be safe, and may I be at peace. I'm just saying that yourself in your own pace. Again, just focusing in on that feeling. I'm just going to say it one more time. May I be happy, may I be safe, and may I be at peace. And just trying to really breathe into that feeling, into the warmth, into the kindness and the acceptance. And now what I want you to do is just to think of somebody in your life who perhaps you have a little bit of difficulty with at the moment. Maybe you've got conflicting views with everything that's going on, or maybe, you'd like to see some healing in your relationship with them, and just sort of focus on them, visualize them in your mind. And we're going to do exactly the same. So we're visualizing them in our mind, and we're trying to speak over them. So may you be happy, may you be safe, and may you be at peace. So again, just saying that out loud or in your head, trying to generate that warmth and friendliness towards them. And we'll say it one more time. May you be happy, may you be safe, and may you be at peace. Keeping the breath work going nice and steady. And just to wrap this up, now we're going to look outwards even further. So you could either think about a community that you belong in, maybe it's your town or your neighborhood, your street that you live on. Maybe you want to take that even further to the whole outdoor community, or to the mental health community, or anything that matters to you, and some kind of community, a collection of people. And we're going to just finish this one more time by repeating the phrase, sort of trying to send our warmth and our love and our peace and our compassion out to all of these people, this collection of people. May you be happy, may you be safe, and may you be at peace. So either out loud or in your head. And then final time, we're just going to repeat that one more time. May you be happy, may you be safe, and may you be at peace. Just really breathing into that calmness, breathing into that warmth, breathing into that love and acceptance, which I think we all need to feel every single day, taking that time to appreciate ourselves, the people around us. And when you're ready, nice deep breath in. As you breathe out, open your eyes. So guys, that's the loving kindness meditation. So practice that as often as you like. It can be really good to help you calm down. If you feel like you want to be at service for others, it's a really nice way just to do that anywhere. Just to send out some real positive vibes into the world, and to look after yourself as well. So guys, I want to say thank you so much for tuning in. Please keep following across social media. We'll be here same time next week, so 4 p.m. Wednesday. Please invite anybody and everybody that you know. It'd be really good to have you along. And thanks for hanging out with me. Always wonderful to see you, and sending love and peace and happiness your way. So guys, let's finish it as always. Stay wild. I'll see you soon, guys. Take care.